Power Siphon Trickster has annihilated the early stages of the Gauntlet with the multiple projectiles that are also auto-aiming. You are going to run through the campaign and early maps at mag speed while having a ton of fun. So usually Power Siphon would be a wand attack, which makes you having to stand still every time you fire, which is going to still shoot multiple projectiles, but it's definitely going to slow you down. So this is being fixed by actually using the Locus mine support, triggering mines that then are going to auto cast and also auto-aim the Power Siphon projectiles for you. The cool thing about Power Siphon is that it's going to scale with increases to spell damage at 150% of their value, making it extremely easy to scale the damage even early on during the campaign. And on top of that, it's also extremely easy to get crit capped because you are actually getting power charges, which not only increase your critical strike chance, but also give you an additional critical strike multiplier per power charge active on your character. The only mini downside to this build is actually a line in Locus Mine, which we are using to support the Power Siphon, making it a mine spell in the first place. As you can see right here, it says mines from supported skills can't be detonated while within 3 meters of you. This means that whenever you are throwing your mines, you can't throw them right next to you, as this is not a 3-meter range. But what you need to do is, let's imagine the turtle right here would be an enemy. I can't throw the mines right under the enemy, but instead what I have to do is I have to throw them much further away, which is then going to have the at least 3 meters away from you, and then they're going to auto-aim backwards onto the target that is in melee range. So make sure to not throw them like this. Always try to aim them at the edge of your screen, no matter where you are running. And a very cool tip to trigger them if you end up throwing them very close is to either just frost blink away or shield charge around happily while you are going through the campaign. And everything that you see on screen right here is easily doable starting at level 31 when you have all the skill gems necessary for the character. Extremely important to understand for Power Siphon is that Power Siphon is an attack and an projectile. On top of that, you have the very important line at the very top in the blue that says increases and reductions to spell damage also apply to attack damage from the skill at 150% of their value. This means that you are wanting to increase your spell damage on your gear and also profit off of flat elemental increases to your attack damage. So for example, if we take a look at the wand right here, which is extremely easy to find, and there's also going to be a filter down in the description below that is going to highlight these items for you, you can see that we are looking for something that adds fire damage or elemental damage in general to our attacks. We don't care about the spells portion right here of the Demon's Horn, but we want to add flat LE damage to our attacks. And as you can see right here in the first prefix, the shocking, we add lightning damage, which is going to directly increase the Power Siphon damage. We have crafted the increased spell damage, which is going to be 150% effective into the damage of Power Siphon, making it extremely strong. I have prepared a POB that highlights exactly that. You are going to have everything that you need right here, from leveling gear to skill tree system. As you can see, I have given the items names that are going to highlight what you want to find or maybe craft on these items. So for example, as you can see right here, the wand is literally that easy to make. You want to find increased spell damage as an implicit. Maybe you find a Demon's Horn that has flat LE damage to spells and attacks. That's also totally fine. And then you are going to either craft adds LE damage on your wand, or if that one is already present on your item, you are going to craft the increased spell damage instead. It's literally that easy to get you through the campaign into early maps and become extremely strong. As you can see right here, that's not really a hard item to find or to make. You are going to be easily able to do this. Then next up, you can see that I have literally just life resistances non-offensive items, basically. Here it's very important that you look at it and basically just get max life and some res. Don't forget that you can also craft one or the other, depending on which one you are currently missing, to get either res capped or actually increase your life, which is extremely important during the campaign and is also going to be enough to get you into early maps. Then, for example, the body armor, very important here to not have life on this item piece, because we're actually playing with the mastery at some point right here that does not want us to have a life modifier on our equipped armor set and on our equipped body armor, and that is going to help you out tremendously, increasing your maximum life. Then another offensive slot, which is the gloves right here. Here you can see that we're continuing the same approach that we have for the wand. We want cold damage or any elemental damage to attacks, and then we're going to continue with the defensive part. We just want max life and some form of resistance on there to get us resistance capped, and then you can just craft what your item is currently missing. That is going to continue through all of the gear, where you can see right here, if every time we have something offensive, for example the amulet or the rings, we are looking for increased spell damage. On the amulet we also have the global crit multi, which is going to come in extremely handy, because you can very easily get crit capped due to your power charges. And then we just want to stack some life, some resistances, and again, we want to craft the thing that we're missing. So if this amulet, for example, already had adds LE damage to attacks and doesn't have the increased spell damage, for example, then we would have crafted the increased spell damage on that item. Just so you know that you can kind of mix and match what you need to do. Same applies for the rings right here, where we have the LE damage on there, and we have the increased elemental damage with attack skills, because remember, Power Siphon is not a spell, it is actually an attack. This is basically going to carry you into early maps already, and you're going to have a smooth sailing going forward. Very important here is that you just pick the evasion and ES bases to then actually follow the items that I have in the PoB, which is going to be linked down in the description below. All the early leveling, you are not leveling with rolling magma. As showcased during the gauntlet by Ben and various other blasters, they have actually figured out a Cobra Lash start. You can see it right here on my skill bar, and it's basically a ranged ability that is going to then chain and do basically AoE damage that way through the chains. It is also going to deal more damage the more chains are still remaining on the initial projectile. So there is going to be a lot of scaling involved, and you are combining that with chance to poison. In my opinion, this is a 10 times more enjoyable leveling experience compared to rolling magma, where you have to do the double mounts and everything. This is just smooth sailing. You basically just shoot a projectile. It is going to chain to everything that is around. And even though I usually don't kill stuff at the coast, I couldn't help myself from clicking Cobra Lash and actually blasting enemies. And then afterwards, as soon as available, so around level 12 or so, you are going to swap to Poisonous Concoction. It's actually a very easy swap. You just take out the Cobra Lash, you just insert the Poisonous Concoction, and you are done with the swap. This is going to give you quite a lot of AoE, and again, you have the poison theme going for you until you can swap to Power Siphon Locus Mines at level 31. This is going to be a very smooth and comfy progression curve until you can finally play your endgame version of the build. And I have combined all of this into the PoB that you need, so you can literally just follow the skill sets right here in the skills category, where you can see the Cobra Lash until P-Conk, which is the abbreviation for this, where you can see we want to do Cobra Lash, chance to poison. As soon as you get shield charge, faster attacks and momentum, you want to link those together. You want to have the frost blink going, and that is literally going to carry you through this. Very important right here, as soon as you can buy or get from a quest reward the added lightning damage, Locus Mine, and Power Siphon, and equip them in your second weapon swap, basically in your second weapon set, so that they can passively level up and accumulate experience, so that they are of a higher level as soon as you swap to the Power Siphon Locus Mines setup at level 31. You are going to swap to Peaconk as soon as that's available, as I just said, and the only change that you are going to do is that you are going to take out the Cobra Lash, you're going to insert the volley, and if you have a triple green, you're also going to put chance to poison in there as well. That's literally it for the swap. The other stuff that you are going to do is just adding more good skill gems into your setup. So for example, we want to have Haste and Herald of Agony, which are going to make you much faster and are going to deal more damage for you, basically. And we also have an Arrogance setup, which is going to increase your mana regeneration through Clarity, which is going to be extremely important to sustain your mana very easily in this way. And you can level it up to level 1 or 2. Don't go further. Same goes for Vitality, which is going to help you with life regeneration. Also, you're going to have the skill tree mirroring that journey. So make sure when you are on the skill tree to also check out the steps right here. As you can see, at level 31, skill tree is going to look like this. Then you will have the Power Siphon respec. That is going to change the skill tree a little bit. You are going to do this swap with the gold at Faustus, which is going to be extremely easy to do. Just make sure you pick up the gold, which is also going to be highlighted by the filter down in the description below. So make sure to pick that up so that you can have enough gold and passive respec points to make this first little respec. Then obviously further down you have the Cruel Lab, you have the Ascendancy points that you need to get. There's going to be much more steps holding your hand along the way until you get into the Merc Lab and then into the early maps. And therefore, you can swap the steps according to your progression of your current character. For the endgame, there's going to be DS Lily's POB linked down below because she did an amazing job with highlighting the low budget, mid budget, high end and mage blood stuff with the corresponding skill trees. As you can see right here, same concept applies. This is going to be when you are making the swap from the max life ES stuff. That is the last step in my POB. And then you're going to go and do the Instacker Energy Shield late game variant that is going to be described right here in DS Lily's POB. Very important and a nice job by DS Lily is that you can actually see how to craft the items going forward into the end game. As you can see right here, there's a cyan line saying crafting. After that, there is red text that is going to detail how you can actually make these items. I think this is an amazing approach to giving or presenting the information. So that is going to be what you are following. This is available for all the items right here. And this is how you're going to go through the item progression step by step. This also continues for the mid-budget, for example. Right here, you can see that you need to fracture a good mod and then spam the Essence of Scorn, for example. And this is going to help you progress the character. Obviously, this is also this obviously also has the skill setups. There is a Purity of Elements section, a No Purity of Elements variant, and then again, make sure to match the tree progression with high end, for example, with the item progression right here. And last but not least, SPL, System Player Lost's item filter, which is also going to be linked down below in the description. Thank you a lot for System Player Lost to providing this to me. He was in chat while I was doing all of the setup for the early game POB, helping me out tremendously, and then also offered to have the Power Siphon Mines filter featured in the build guide and the description. You are going to click the link right here, a Path of Exile account or profile link, and then you're going to scroll down to the very bottom. You will find a Team Focus PS Mines solo filter that you are going to follow. This means that you are going to get the updates that SPL is going to make on his filter also into your filter. If you do the copy, you will cut them loose and will not get any updates. So if you wish to also receive all the updates that SPL does, you hit the follow right here, and then you can actually choose the item filter in your game. When you go to options, you go to the game itself, and then it's going to light up here in the cyan color for you to choose. This is going to get you through the campaign and is going to highlight very important stuff. The wand we've been talking about, some nice shields, everything that your heart wishes for during the campaign. Very important here is this is a campaign only filter. So as soon as you are out of the campaign, you need to start using the filter blade semi-strict or uber strict versions. This is only going to help you in the campaign. Please do not use this as soon as you're in maps because it is going to hide important items. I'm very much looking forward to Power Siphon Trickster, especially Cobra Lash into Peaconk is something completely different and much more comfy than rolling magma. I'm very much looking forward to League start on Thursday. If you have any questions or just want to hang out while we blast the Settlers reboot, I suggest you check out the Twitch that is going to be linked down below. And if you like content similar to this, also a lot more Path of Exile 2 content coming up, then I suggest you subscribe to the YouTube channel and I'll see you next time.